Hey everyone, welcome to the Canine Culture Podcast, where we talk about everything dog. Q&As with veterinarian professionals, rescue operators, everyday topics. We cover everything dog on this podcast. So make sure you subscribe to the Canine Culture Podcast on your favorite podcast platform, and make sure you're following us on social media on both Instagram and Facebook. Thanks again for listening. Now here's that next episode. Hey everyone, welcome to the Culture Podcast. This is your host, Brittany, and we are on part 2 of our Heartworm series with Grace from Friends of Jacksonville Animals. So Grace, thank you for joining us again.
Absolutely. Sorry about the connection last time. I'm glad to be back. Thanks for giving me a second chance.
Yeah, of course. If anyone listened to last week's episode, Grace was part of it, and then she just fell off and she was gone forever. So we finished the heartworm episode just talking about like heartworm treatment, some of the side effects, the time commitment, the financial commitment. And so what we want to do today is, of course, not only talk about heartworms, but at a bigger picture, talk about Friends of Jacksonville Animals, so FOJA, as it's known. And so we're going to just start right with the mission of what does FOJA do, and how do you guys support animals or dogs in Duval County and surrounding areas?
Yeah, absolutely. So in Duval County, there's 2 shelters. There is Animal Care and Protective Services, which is funded by Duval County taxes and government. And then there is the Jacksonville Humane Society. And a lot of people are familiar with JHS. They are their own nonprofit. So they're the difference in what's called an open intake shelter and a closed intake shelter. So when Jack's Humane is full, they can actually say, no, we are not accepting any more animals. We're full, we're maxed out, our resources are limited. ACPS, as a government function, is an open intake shelter. And while they do limit intake where they can, ultimately their entire purpose is to serve the community. And so they can quickly get to capacity, but they can't really say no, right? Like they have to serve their function. And so it leads to a lot of downstream impacts, right? When you think about overcapacity, they have 264 kennels for dogs, and I believe they have 350 dogs currently at the shelter. So kennels are doubled, which means the dogs have even less space, which increases their stress. And there's another 100 or 200 animals in foster care. So they are caring for a massive amount of animals on a really limited budget. And what happens is when you donate to the city, it goes into just the general city fund, right? And if ACPS only gets 5% of that, then your $100 donation, they're only getting $5. FOJA saw this issue, and so we decided that we created a separate entity. So we are our own nonprofit, and we support the city shelter. I think we did the math, and about 96% of our donations go directly to the animals. The other 4% goes to our 501c3 filing fee and some postage. But the majority of the donations go directly to the animals in a way that wouldn't happen if you were donating to the general city fund. And so we're able to purchase things directly for the animals, things like heartworm medication, pay specialty surgeries at outside vets, buy enrichment items like Kongs, or fix their beds, things that just aren't necessarily in the city budget, to be able to really support these animals and support our mission statement, which is to end unnecessary euthanasia.
You mentioned a number of things that you have the ability to do, or that you do just on a regular basis. So let's break those down a little bit, and let's jump back to that heartworm topic. And so the way I was connected with you is I had a friend rescue from ACPS a heartworm positive dog, and she had never encountered a heartworm positive dog. It's very scary to think about, to hear. It almost makes people second guess, and quite frankly, I feel like most adopters do back out when they find that out. And so
It is scary.
yeah, FOJA has kind of bridged that gap, and you guys help cover a lot of those expenses for heartworm treatment. And so tell us how that works. Like if I go to ACPS and I want to rescue a heartworm positive dog, like what would that process look like for me if I wanted to try to work with your organization in helping, whether that be a financial aspect, maybe like just resources, like where do I go? What do I do? So how does that work with FOJA?
Absolutely. Thanks for asking the question. It's actually the first reason that FOJA was founded, right? To end that unnecessary euthanasia. One of the top euthanasia reasons was heartworms.
Hmm.
Because it is expensive to treat and you have to keep the dog calm, and there's a lot of factors to it, right? There's different levels of heartworms that a dog could have that
Hmm.
would impact their health and other things. And so FOJA was actually founded specifically to purchase heartworm treatment. So we purchase it for the shelter for in-house treatments, but we also support adopters. If you want to adopt a dog and it hasn't been treated at ACPS yet for any number of reasons, not able to keep them calm or other vet priorities coming before the heartworm treatment, all of those things, right? If you are interested in a heartworm positive dog, FOJA will help cover the cost. So it's called our flat fee program. We also call it our red folder program because you get a red folder when, as an adopter, with the information in it. We
Hmm.
have 6 partners around Jacksonville, from the beaches to McClenny, at just a lot of different areas of town, so that you have your choice and it's convenient for you as an adopter. But what you'll do is you would email FOJA and you'd say, hey, I'm adopting this dog. You have all the information in the folder to be able to choose which vet and have a little bit of information going in. But what would happen is we'd email you the voucher and you take that into the vet's office. And so it's a flat rate program, meaning you only pay, depending on which vet you choose, it varies a little bit, but it's $200 or less. And then we cover the rest. And so that covers the doxycycline, which is the antibiotic. That covers the prednisone, which is the steroid. That covers the Duraban, which is the actual heartworm treatment injections. Covers your vet office visit fee, so you're not covering that. All in, it's between $1,500 and $2,000 worth of value that FOJA is providing
Hmm.
to just help make these dogs adoptable, because heartworms is not a death sentence. It is a completely treatable disease. But as you can see by these numbers, it's pretty expensive to
Right.
treat. The best thing is prevention, and that's that monthly pill that you can give your dog. Costs about $20 to $30 depending on the size of your dog, but it goes a long way in preventing this in the first place.
Hmm. Yeah, a lot of people look at the cost of the heartworm prevention and they're just like, it's too expensive. But the reality is that it's so
Hmm.
much more expensive to try to treat them. And then even treating them, you still have to do the prevention. So it's like, why not do it up front? Whether it's like HeartGuard, I feel like is a really popular one. I've always used Trifexis because it also has flea and tick. And so I just have them all bundled together. But I feel like there's a lot of different options on the market, and some
Absolutely.
are a pill, some are like a little chewy. My dogs kind of take it like a treat, like they think it's a treat every month. It's just once a month. So it's really easy for us to give it.
Oh my gosh. No, my dogs, when they see it come and go, eh. They literally like, they're like, no, don't bring that over near me. But there's tricks, right? There's peanut butter, there's Velveeta
Yeah.
cheese, you can wrap it, and there's definitely ways to make that happen. I mean, there's multiple brands. There's Simperico Trio, there's Bravecto, there's HeartGuard, like you mentioned. I mean, there's so many, and Trifexis, there's so many different options out there. Some have flea medicine, some don't. There's
Hmm.
also a misconception that like you can keep your dog safe from heartworms. But heartworms are delivered by mosquitoes.
Hmm.
And even if you have your dog inside 18 hours a day, there could be a mosquito that gets into your home, and there's no way
Yeah.
to tell which mosquitoes are carrying, right? Like, and so the only way to really keep your dog safe from heartworms is heartworm prevention.
Hmm. And in the United States, there are mosquitoes in every state. And so I think a lot of people, I didn't even know this until I started doing the podcast, but a lot of people thought like some states didn't have mosquitoes. And I do know some people
And
too.
Florida definitely does.
Right. We have so many. Some people I know like stop their heartworm preventative in the winter. I would never suggest that. Definitely not in Florida because we truly have mosquitoes year round. I guess that's going to be up to you and your vet if you make that decision. I don't think any vet in Florida would recommend it, but hey, you never know. So, with the heartworm treatment, so how many dogs do you normally treat a year? I don't know if you have a number for that or
Yeah,
treat a
it's a great
month or
question.
yeah.
Yeah, we see around 20 to 30 a month
Wow.
that we are treating. Yep. We are about to hit our 5,000th dog treated since founding. So
And since
it's
like
there's no shortage.
2008. Ah,
Eight,
right?
eight,
2008.
nine. I always get the number wrong. Don't quote me on that. All the board members, I always get the number wrong. I'm the one board member that can't remember our founding year. But no, it's 5,000 animals in the last 12, 15 years. No, that would make us 2010. See, I have no idea. But it's 5,000 dogs. I can get you the number after. We've treated 156 this year, 20 in
Wow.
the last month. It's there's it's something that we really is core to our mission statement, right? Is just making
Hmm.
these dogs adoptable and making it accessible to the public, and making it not that scary of a thing. Like there is a time commitment, there is a small financial commitment compared to what it would be without FOJA, but it really does bring the ability to bring one of these lovely dogs into your home because heartworms it has no other effect other than possibly damaging their heart muscle if it's not treated, right? And so getting them into a
Hmm.
home where it's calmer and safer to treat them, where it's not as much stress on them like the shelter, it's really key to making them a happy, healthy dog that can live out the rest of their days on a soft dog bed instead of a
Yeah.
concrete kennel.
Have you guys seen an increase this year in 2025 in the number of dogs that you're having to treat, or would you say it's staying pretty steady?
Right now, the shelter is over capacity, which adds on to the stress of the dogs in the shelter. So the shelter hasn't been able to, ACPS hasn't been able to treat as many in house as they typically would. So we
Hmm.
are seeing a lot more being treated after adoption, which is still okay, right? And honestly, a little bit better. We are always looking for fosters to foster
Hmm.
heartworm positive dogs because then they can get the treatment at the shelter, heal up in the home, and then find their forever home after having that calmer period. So that's always an option to help. One way to help fostering a heartworm positive dog will really give them that stress relief that's key to being treated successfully.
If someone did want to foster a heartworm positive dog and really just like for the duration of their treatment or duration of treatment and until adoption, would they be able to go through FOJA or should they go through ACPS? How does that work?
CPS is the quote unquote owner of all of the dogs. Friends of Jacksonville Animals is just the financial backer. So all we deal with is the funding part. So if you are interested in helping a heartworm positive dog, you would contact ACPS. You would go down. They're open Monday through Friday from 12 to 7 and Saturday and Sunday 10 to 6. And so you go down during their business hours and you let them know what kind of dog you're looking for. Let them know, are you in an apartment? Are you in a house? Do you have kids? Do you like to throw parties every weekend or are you a homebody? Do
Hmm.
you like to go to the dog park and take walks, or are you looking for a couch potato? You tell them all of this information, and they can help you find a good fit for you. Make some recommendations. You can meet a few dogs, and then you can take somebody home.
Hmm. Okay. And then as far as FOJA, so you guys are volunteer based and
We
donation
are.
based. So how can people get involved, whether it's in person or just like what do you guys need from the public or even people outside of Jacksonville?
Yeah, there's so many ways to get involved with Friends of Jacksonville Animals, which is the really great thing. We are 100% volunteer. All of us have day jobs. All of us on the board. There's not a single paid employee for FOJA, and that's why such a high percentage of your donations can go directly to the animals.
Right.
So we have events, and we're kicking off a lot this fall around Jacksonville. We have events that you can come to as a patron and donate there through the event, or we can always use help setting up the events. We have a really this one's been a huge hit this year. It's bingo, but it's with playing cards, so there's a total twist on it. It's not like you're playing bingo. It's a lot of fun. The games go really fast. And we always are looking for $10 or less prizes. This is my foster dog, Remy, and he wanted to say hi. He's been bothering me this whole call, just wanting to get on camera. Um, So bingo is really fun. We're always looking for people to help us solicit prizes, $10 or less from local businesses or chains and stuff like that. We also have a few big ones kicking off. September 24th, we have an oyster making class. Oyster ornaments, the
Oh,
decoupage with the
yeah.
gold outlines. Yeah, so that one's sponsored with Crafting by the Sea, and it's going to be at Engine 15 Brewing Company. That's on the 24th. And then we have our first Yappy Hour on the 25th that we're doing with Jack's Tours. That's going to be at the Deca Bar, the Sip on the
Okay.
rooftop. Yep, so that one's going to be there on the 25th from 6:30 or 5:30 to 7:30. We have our Pause for a Cause coming up in October 4th at Bold City Brewing. So that's going to be a lot of fun. That's going to have a silent auction and a 50-50 raffle. And that's where we can really use volunteer help, right? Not only soliciting donations for the auctions, for the raffles, for the bingo prizes, but also for help drumming it up, help
Mm-hmm.
gathering 50-50, help running the silent auction. And then if you don't have the time to help or you don't have the funds to come be a patron, which is understandable, and you can always share our social media posts. So we are on Facebook and Instagram, Friends of Jacksonville Animals on Facebook, FOJA Jacks on Instagram, and sharing our events, sharing our posts. That really
Mm-hmm.
goes a long way, driving the impact that we can have in Jacksonville. People can't come if they don't know about it, right?
Right.
So that's also a great way to help and just help share our mission if time and money is a concern for you.
Yeah, the impact of sharing on social media, I think a lot of people kind of dismiss it or they don't
Hmm.
understand like how much you can do. I mean, I found one of my dogs that was on a euthanasia list in New Orleans just from social media posts that made its way to me in Florida, and I was able to go get that dog before he was euthanized. Like just seeing stuff on social media, it just takes the right person to see it. So for people sharing it, it might take the right person seeing it to make a donation, to come volunteer, to maybe go adopt. ACPS does Dog Day Out, and I actually saw people doing it on social media, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I had no idea. And so I did Dog Day Out. And then when I shared it, like 10 other people reached out and they're like, I want to do Dog Day Out. So social
Yeah,
media
exactly.
is so helpful. So that's great. You guys have events coming up. We will definitely be sharing those on the Canine Culture pages. And yeah, so tell everyone your website and how to find you guys again so that everyone can go look for Friends of Jack's Animals.
Yep, it's www.friends with an S of Jacks with an X, animals with an S again. So friends of Jacks animals.com. But you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, searching the same thing, searching FOJA. We come up. We were one of the first Friends of organizations in North Florida, and actually were able to help set up a bunch of others, like Friends of Clay County Animals and Friends of
Mhm.
Putnam. And so we've been really fortunate in being one of the first and getting the hard knocks so that we can help all of our other partners and our other shelters get it up and running, because having the donations really funnel straight to the animals and their needs has been
Yeah.
key to making it a great partnership with the shelter, and really saving animal lives.
Yeah. Well, thank you for all of your hard work. Thank you for coming on. I know that you're a volunteer along with the rest of your board. And so we just appreciate the work you're doing in Jacksonville. So thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for the exposure. And if any of your followers want to reach out, just shoot us a message on any of our social media platforms. We're happy to plug you in and get you involved.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Brittany.
Thank you for tuning in to the Canine Culture Podcast. Please make sure you subscribe to the Canine Culture Podcast on your favorite podcast platform, and make sure you're following us on social media. If you have any recommendations, any topics that you'd like to hear, if you know of any guests that would be good for the show, or if you yourself want to be a guest, please reach out to us. Send us an email at canineculturepodcast@gmail.com, or send us a direct message on social media. Thank you for listening, and please share this with any of your dog-loving friends.